Steve, you call this your community strategy. What's it all about?
I think it's about developing community cricket for the next 3 years. It's about developing the whole of the community side of the game, not just ourselves through the governing body, but working with our clubs, our schools, our coaches and our wider partners and stakeholders, and not just driving forward what Cricket Scotland needs, but what the community cricket needs in Scotland.
Why do we need a community strategy?
I think if we're looking at on the front foot, which has been Cricket Scotland's strategy for the last 2 or 3 years, we've achieved many of the community outcomes within that. If you look at the education system we've got in place now for coaches, the development programme we're having for clubs through our top club, we've brought in someone to head up the girls and women's side of the game. We've achieved many of the things in there. I think now is the right time for us to launch our own community strategy. But also it's about developing us in the community game. What do we need for the next 3 years as our game move forward?
So is this something that you've produced from the top down?
I think it's a two-way process in that it's been right that we and the professional staff have sat down and analysed and looked at where cricket is and where it needs to go. But the real key thing for me for this to be truly a community strategy is for the community to feed into it. I think that's why it was so important for me when we're putting it together, in that we listened to the views of the community. And I think that's why we went through such a long consultation stage. It's taken us 5 to 6 months. There was over 160 people took part in the consultation process, which for me is absolutely fantastic. And that's been so important for us shaping this, because the strategy isn't about what Cricket Scotland wants, it's about what we in community cricket want. We're just one part of that.
And what did the consultation reveal that we all wanted?
I think, as I previously said there, the development of facilities is key. That's our playing facilities, our training facilities, whether it's an artificial net or an artificial wicket. I think also it showed there's a need and a want out there to educate and develop coaches. So what we're looking at there is more coaches coming through the education pathway, so going through their coaching assistant award, their coach award, but also what do we do when we get those coaches who already have their qualifications? How do we develop them and make them better? And I think they're the two key things that have come out of the strategy.
These kind of proposals come out from time to time, and we all, generally speaking, support them. What's going to be different this time?
I think the key thing is this time the proposal's been generated by the community. It's not just been developed by the professional staff. I think it speaks volumes that so many people have fed into the consultation and provided so many absolutely fantastic ideas and generated those development areas that we need to move forward for the benefit of community cricket. And I think, as I previously said, in that the fact that the community and the professional staff have come up with the same things shows that we're all trying to do the same thing. The key thing is now is that how we work together to deliver those things.
And are people able to have some input, some further input into all of this?
Oh, definitely. I think what I'll be looking for from now on is that we have the community strategy that comes out on the 1st of October, is that now we look at putting together our regional plans, which people can still feed into what happens in their regions. It isn't a carte blanche that this is what happens nationally, this is what has to happen in the region. It's now about how do we generate some more regional ideas feeding off any national strategy.
Right, in practical terms then, what is your main message?
The mantra is more and better players, stronger clubs and well-trained people. What I mean by that is basically we're getting more people playing the game, any age, any ability. Those that are playing the game will make them better. So in real terms, what does that mean? That's about making sure that there's plenty of competition opportunities, there's festivals for people to play in, we've got the right pathway so that a young person can come in from quick cricket, and there's a pathway that can take them all the way through to play for their national teams. It's making sure that the schools have got an opportunity to play. That's key for us, because many situations that's the first chance a young person gets to play the game. Stronger clubs, that's about strong, sustainable clubs that are well managed, that are moving in the right direction, they know where they want to be in 3 years' time. It's not necessarily about just looking at the success of the first team, it's looking at the strength of the club. It's that whole club and how the whole club moves forward over the next 3, 4, 5 years' time. And well-trained people, that's about educating and developing our coaches, developing the teachers and educating them. It's about those officials that that are either standing in the middle as umpires or scoring. It's how do we develop and train them, recruit more of them into the game. And also the volunteers that support us, those people that we don't always see that are doing that fine work. How do we develop them? How do we improve them? And then finally, our groundsmen, if we need better facilities, how do we work with our groundsmen to ensure that that happens? But there's 4 things that underpin all of this. It's making sure that whatever we do is quality, is safe, has equity at its heart, and the last one, the best way to develop and deliver anything is in partnership. We as a governing body, Cricket Scotland, can't do this on our own, neither can clubs. It's about how we all work together in partnership to deliver the strategy.